Good evening. Good evening and welcome. My name is Corbin Stoltzers and I'm the middle school principal. And I'd like to welcome you to our building this evening for our spring orchestra concert. On behalf of myself and Mr. Kohler in the back of the auditorium from the high school, we're glad you can join us this evening. It's a great time of year for us, lots of concerts going on the last couple weeks, band, chorus, and this evening orchestra. Now, as I was thinking about what to say this evening, I thought about that this concert, what it provides for me, aside from lifting the spirit, is provides hope. I'll explain what I mean by that. I have a 5th grade son who has decided to take up the violin. You see where I'm going with this? The sounds that come out of his room, I have hope when I hear these students play. Because there are times when I'm not sure if the sound is coming from the instrument or if there's a woodland creature in distress in the room somewhere. So when I hear our middle school and our high school students play, I have great hope because I think at one point they might have been at the same stage that my son is at right now, but I certainly hope that he sticks with it and continues with his passion for playing and one day will sound as good as these students sound. I also want to take a moment right now, again, on behalf of Mr. Kohler and myself, to thank Miss Watson, who I'll introduce shortly. She has filled in admirably for Mrs. Delpino, who's also in the back of the auditorium with her new baby girl. And Ms. Delpino returns on Monday, but we were very fortunate to find Miss Watson and have her fill in for the past several weeks. And we are looking forward to obviously having Ms. Delpino back, but we'll miss Ms. Watson tremendously. So, with that said, I'm going to stop talking and turn it over to our special guests this evening that you're here to see, our middle school and high school orchestra students. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening and welcome to the Spring Orchestra Concert. My name is Daryl Martin and I play the viola. The first piece we will perform is called Baroque Suite. The piece features 3 predominant melodies from the Baroque era composed by G.P. Teleman's opera Overture Burlesque. This piece is comical and lighthearted, almost satirical. Please enjoy Baroque Suite.
My name is Ryan Zach, and I play the violin. Our next piece is Night Shift. Night Shift introduces us to the realm of shifting in an accessible way. This piece is moody and model, yet triumphant. Thank you to the High School Chamber Orchestra violin section for playing with us on this tune.
My name is Cecilia and I play the violin. The middle school orchestra's final piece is Dragon Hunter. A dragon is on the loose and we must catch him. Come with us as we set off on our journey through a minor key, modal harmonies, and aggressive melodies as we engage in a chase and a stealth mission through the castle.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Kevin Moo, and I play the violin. The middle school string ensemble rehearses twice a week and is entirely volunteer ensemble. The students you see here are very excited to perform more challenging works for you. Our first piece tonight is called Mozart Works, a mashup of popular Mozart works. You are sure to recognize this next piece. You will hear melodies from the Marriage of Figaro, Rondo alla Turco, Alleluia, and Eine kleine Nachtmusik.
Zoe King, and I play the cello. The final piece that String Ensemble will perform is titled Legends of Glory. As ancient voices recall the tales of forgotten glory, a scared moment of reflection gives way to a stormy battle ahead, leading to a victorious final moment. We hope you enjoy our portion of the concert. Please excuse the brief transition period at the end of this piece while we get the high school set up. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Good evening. My name is Adelaide, and I play the violin. The Chamber Orchestra's first piece tonight is titled Snake River Stomp. This piece captures the essence of the Snake River, which flows from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. You will hear elements of fiddling, folk song, and a heavy hoedown feel. Yeehaw!
is Tyler, and I play the violin. The next piece we'll play for you is titled Gladio. While we are only playing the first movement, Gladio is originally a 3-movement work inspired by Italian architect Andrea Palladio. His work during the Renaissance era focused on order and harmony, which is prevalent for his work.
Arg me mateys, shiver me timbers, the final piece of play needs no introduction. Get ready to sail the seven seas, hoist your colors high, and search for the buried treasure for us as we close our portion of the concert. Yo ho!
Yeah. But like Donkey Kong, Mario. That'd be fun.
Alright. Hello? Hi. I'm going to introduce the next piece. This is our senior song featuring two special guests who aren't seniors. The next piece we're going to play for you is Jupiter. It's from a larger movement called The Planets. Just want to take a minute and recognize our seniors. So seniors, when you hear your name, just like stand up, give a wave, whatever you want to do. First up we have Miss Jenny Wu. She is going to be attending. Jenny is going to be attending NYU Shanghai for International Relations. Next up, Tyler Williams. Tyler is attending Susquehanna University for creative writing. Next, I have Emily Serafin. She's going to be attending Indiana University of Pennsylvania for medical imaging. Next, we have Leah Cochran. She is going to Penn State University for biology. Next up is Miss Sarah Lang. Sarah is attending Delaware Valley University for secondary education. And last but certainly not least, we have Miss Jazz Campbell. Oh, sorry, I forgot one. What's your Jazz name? Jazz is attending Florida Southern College. She's double majoring in theater and marine biology. How typical of me to forget the only viola player we have as a senior, Miss Brenna Horger. Who also gets her film on film. She is attending Kutztown University for film. Please enjoy Jupiter.
Good evening and welcome to the high school's portion of the concert. My name is Sanjeeva Rao and I play the violin. The first piece we will perform for you is titled Where Falcons Fly. Imagine a falcon soaring high in the sky on a journey, battling intense winds, storms, and terrains. As the clouds part, you see gorgeous trees, mountain ranges as you descend back into the lush grounds of the earth. Picture the scene as you listen to our first piece.
is Kaylee, and I play the violin. The next piece we'll play for you is titled Allegro from Xerxes. Originally composed by George Frederick Handel, this place is an overture to his opera Xerxes. This playful and positive piece is sure to transport you to an opera house ready for a show.
My name is Charlie and I play the cello. Our next piece is titled Lullaby to the Moon. Lullaby to the Moon is simply that, a lullaby to the moon, to the beautiful moon that shines bright in the sky every night. The moon can feel lonely, comforting, and sorrowful. Featuring a string quartet, this beautiful piece is sure to make you feel at ease.
name is Carolina Wang, and I play the cello. The high school's final piece is titled Wood Splitter, Fanfare. This piece was written about the composer's horror when he witnessed a viola shatter during the concert. Every musician's greatest fear is their instrument breaking during the concert, so let's hope that doesn't happen tonight. This piece allows us to release our frustrations and celebrate all of the wonderful things in life. We hope you enjoy this heroic.
While we are getting ready for our final piece tonight, I want to say a few words, and we also have a few awards to give out. Guess I'll start with awards. So every year, Mrs. Delpino does a secret surprise award for both the 8th graders and the seniors. It's the most inspirational award. So, start with 8th grade. The recipient of the most inspirational 8th grade orchestra member award. This was voted by the current 7th grade middle school orchestra. Some of the things they said about this person is that they're really talented, they're a great player, they always help out in class, and they inspire me. This year's recipient of the most inspirational 8th grader award is Kevin Wu. While Kevin is working his way up, we now have the most inspirational senior award. We had a tie this year. Now this award was voted by their friends in 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. Some of the things that were said about these two students is that they always make me feel comfortable and confident. They always help out in class. They encourage me to be better. They put their heart and soul into the orchestra. They always lead us in the right direction. This year's most inspirational senior award goes to Tyler Williams and Leah Cochran. Here are your most inspirational winners. All right, final words from me, then we'll play our last piece and get you out of here. I know it's been a long night. I just kind of wanted to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to everyone who has welcomed me and supported me here at ONJ Roberts. Probably assume this. I just graduated from college last year, so this is a huge honor for me to be up here teaching such wonderful musicians. Thank you to Mr. Stoltzfus, Mr. Collar, and all of the administration at the middle and the high schools for welcoming me, helping me out. Thank you to Mrs. Urillo, who's back there doing stage crew for me, Mr. Hess, Mrs. Nixdorf, all the other music teachers. Mrs. Delpino, I don't know if she's still here, but thank you to her for trusting me to run her program in her absence. And most importantly, thank you to all of you. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. You all really showed me what it means to be a music teacher, and you're just showing me that I'm in the right profession. So thank you all. This has truly been a pleasure. Firework. We also have Mr. Braden Vickers, a wonderfully talented 8th grade drum set player who's going to play drum set for us.